In addition to celebrating the class of 2025 tonight, we're also honored to recognize two individuals for their outstanding contributions to professional football. The Bill Nunn Memorial Award is given by the Professional Football Writers of America to a reporter who has made a long and distinguished contribution to pro football. The award is named for Nunn, who prior to his Hall of Fame scouting career with the Pittsburgh Steelers, worked for 22 years at the Pittsburgh Courier, one of the most influential black publications in the United States. Now, let's learn a little bit more about this year's winner, Mary Kay Cabot, the 57th Nunn Award honoree.
When the Pro Football Hall of Fame asked if I'd be the voice of the video honoring the journalism career of Mary Kay Cabot, well, it was easy. This is an honor. Mary Kay is a pioneer in our profession. It was in 1991 that she took over day-to-day beat coverage of the Browns at the Cleveland Plain Dealer, becoming the first female to cover any major pro team in the market. Over the past 3+ decades, she has seen many changes, some of which she helped bring about. When she started, seeing another woman working in the press box was rare, and rarer still inside an NFL locker room. Mary Kay knows about being left outside the locker room. The perseverance Mary Kay showed in the face of discrimination not only opened doors for others, but also made things so much better for the generations who have followed. It's a tough job for anyone, but for Mary Kay to have succeeded while rearing 3 children is no small achievement. She is good at being the mother of 28-year-old Chris, 26-year-old Celeste, and 24-year-old Cameron. She is good at being the wife of Bill Nunn for 32 years, and she certainly is good at being an NFL reporter for going on 34 seasons now. We're almost done talking about who's first, and to the point of seeing who's next. Mary Kay was one of the NFL's first female reporters, and now she's this award's next. Congratulations, Mary Kay, on winning the 2025 Bill Nunn Award given by the Pro Football Writers of America. You've proved your place in locker rooms, and now you have a place in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Welcome.
I have the biggest honor in bringing to the microphone Mary Kay Cabot. Thank you, Mary Kay.
Thank you so much, Steve, and thank you so much, Shireen, for that wonderful introduction on the video. I'm so humbled and grateful to be here accepting this prestigious award. I can't wait to see all the guys in their gold jackets, but I must have read the memo wrong. I thought it was the gold dress dinner. Huge congrats to Brent Musburger and to the new inductees. I see you, Antonio Gates. Go Flashes. I also can't wait to see the great Joe Thomas out here, and I'm so honored to have helped put him in the hall 2 years ago. Joe blocked for 20 Browns starting quarterbacks in his day, and I know that was rough, but I can't feel too sorry for him because I've covered 49 Browns starting quarterbacks since the late 1980s. And about 47 of them blamed their benching on me. Brandon Whedon gets trapped under the US flag, my fault. Johnny Manziel forgets to read the playbook, my fault. I'll never forget one of the first times I was assigned to go into an NFL locker room, some 30 years ago. The guy guarding the door refused to let me in, and my deadline was fast approaching. So I kicked the door open and walked in, and somehow managed to get the story in on time. I wouldn't recommend this, however, because it was really difficult to limp back up to the press box. Once I walked through that door into the NFL, I knew I'd have to play big to survive in this alpha dog world. If I was going to keep that door open and pull all of the amazing women through it who have come after me, I knew I had to make them know my name, as Browns cornerback Denzel Ward would say. It wasn't always well received. Back then, it was the wild, wild west for female reporters, and we had to fend for ourselves. I got called every name in the book. I was told to get back in the kitchen when I was never in the kitchen in the first place, threatened with violence, and told I would never make it in this business. And that was just by a couple of guys in my old sports department back in the day. But if you're going to blaze a trail, you have to be willing to walk through the fire. I took more arrows and inappropriate comments than I should have, but I didn't want to become the story. I just wanted to write them. Now I look around the NFL and I see women everywhere, in the media room, the front office, the coaching staff, the officiating crew. And I hope I was able to make their jobs a little easier. We even have girls flag football now, and I'm a little jealous. I would have been a little diva receiver. Fortunately, I went to the school of hard knocks in the NFL because Bill Belichick was the first Browns coach I ever covered. You see, if you start out with Bill Belichick, no one can rattle you after that. If Bill didn't like something I wrote, he'd call and yell at me. If you asked a dumb question, he'd call you out. Eventually, I had to learn to stand up to him. During one of those yelling matches, I told him, if you don't have the footballs to say that to the guys, then don't say it to me. Bam. But now, I totally understand why Bill gave me such a hard time. I was 28 at the time, and he just couldn't relate to a woman that old. Again, I'm grateful because it calloused me to stay in the game when the going got tough. One of those times came in 2011 when Colt McCoy was put back in the game with a concussion. A family member confirmed it, and I broke the story. Before I knew it, I was getting yelled at in the hallway by a very large previous member of the Browns front office. But I wasn't about to let them break me. I stuck with it. And the series led to the new NFL concussion protocol, which I know has saved lives. Another time came when I broke the story that Baker Mayfield might ask to be traded. He tweeted out to his legions of followers that my story was clickbait and don't put words in my mouth to put food on your table. To which my son replied, I've got news for you, Baker. My mom hasn't put food on the table in 25 years. Baker did end up asking to be traded, by the way. I pride myself on being an old school bulldog reporter, but I also love to tell your life stories, to reach inside your heart and soul and find something that you've never been willing to share or that you didn't even know was there. I don't know who cried harder during my interview with Trent Dilfer about him losing his young son Trevin to a heart virus, him or me. I had a tremendous responsibility to honor Trevin's memory, and I took great, tender, loving care with it. Or the time linebacker Jamie Collins opened up for the first time about losing both of his parents when he was 6 years old, and how his 20-year-old sister raised her 5 younger brothers. Collins learned how a father talks to a son by overhearing conversations in a convenience store. Denzel Ward didn't want to talk about losing his dad at age 46 to a heart attack, but I shared with him my story of sitting at the Cleveland Clinic with a black box in my hands and a little green light on it while my husband's heart was outside of his body being worked on. Denzel knew I had a heart for his story, and he opened up. I'm sure we saved some lives with that one. Or Mike Woods, who shared that he had a near-death experience at the age of 4 when he was found unconscious at the bottom of the family pool. Or Jerry Judy, who cleaned the mucus from his baby sister's breathing tube when he was in 6th grade and was devastated when he lost her in high school. Or former Colts GM Ryan Grigson. Sorry I made you cry, buddy, but you really needed to get that out. My maternal instincts kick in during these interviews, and I think the players know that I truly care. Speaking of maternal instincts, I don't see a lot of women in this role with multiple kids, but I'm here to tell you it can be done. You just need help. I had my amazing mom and my incredible husband, and there's no way I'd be standing up here tonight without either of them. When I was on the road for Browns games, Bill would pile the 3 kids into car seats and take them to church. He's been my rock and my guiding light for the past 32 years. When I was getting yelled at, called out, and threatened, he was always there to catch me. When the kids were really little, ESPN came calling with a great job offer, but I didn't think I could pull it off. Bill said, "We can make it work." I was the one who said no. Now, Bill just says that I'm in a 25-year cooking slump, but he's confident I'll pull out of it. I think so too. As soon as the Browns win the Super Bowl, I'll make him that big pot of white chicken chili he's been waiting for. And my 3 amazing children, who are truly my heart, they survived the craziness of this job, and they're all with me here tonight. So it must not have been too bad. If it was, keep that to yourselves, kids. They've seen me write stories from the dentist chair, from under a pier on the beach, and from the bleachers at a lacrosse game. They watch me head out the door for a walk with my computer on my back. Chris and I were a few minutes late for Mom Prom because Johnny Manziel was found floating on a swan that night. But we stayed until the final dance. Girls, I never missed a gymnastics meet, and I reverse French braided your hair before every one. I taught you to be fearless and to follow your hearts, and I think you listened. We've got 1 budding future member of the senior golf tour, 1 professional acrobat, and 1 stand-up comedian. I gave you guys everything I had when I wasn't covering a coaching search. My late father would single-handedly light up this room with pride if he were here. He was the biggest sports fan in all of Cleveland and always believed that this was the Browns' year. My mom, who poured her heart, soul, and rosary into our kids, is still kicking at 93 years old. Before every Browns road trip, she urges me to bring us a winner. I'm trying, girl. I'm trying. To my best friends in the business, Marla, Nate, Scott, Dan, Ashley, Chris, and Jeff, thank you for the laughter, the support, and for driving Miss Daisy. To Marla Ridenauer, who hit the trail a few years before I did, thanks for walking this Hall of Fame journey with me. I love you dearly. To my wonderful family and friends who came from all over the country to be here tonight, I love you guys. A special thanks to the great Shireen Williams, the first woman to win the Bill Nunn Award in 2018 and a fellow Trailblazer. It's hard to believe I'm only the second one in 57 years. Thanks for kicking the door open to the hall so I could walk through it. I promise I will help keep it open for the others.
That was amazing. That was amazing. So Sterling, Antonio, Jared, and Eric, the bar for your speeches tomorrow has been set by Mary Kay. That was fantastic. Well done.